Oh, gotta stop that. Oh, good job. Don't eat the poop. Anyway, we're taking a breather. We took a very long walk. We're taking a breather at local community garden space. Don't go in the garden. We're just sitting down for a minute. Come here. Come here. And this is what I do not eat the poop. This is what I love about this city, is all of the emphasis on community supports. Just had a meeting. I've mentioned this in a previous video, but I've been going to a creative entrepreneur collaboration meeting or course, sort of. You're not going in the garden. Come sit down. Come sit down. Oh my goodness, sit down. Okay, Athena, come here. And there's actually quite a lot of community supports. It's just a matter of getting the information out. Are you gonna eat the plate? Whatever. Please don't. Thank you. Anyway, it's really rad what they're trying to do in this town. It's very humid today. Also, it's supposed to rain. It's already started sprinkling a little. That's okay. It makes my hair real fun. Anyway, but yeah, so I forgot what I was saying. I'm really loving this concept that I'm seeing in action here, and I'm learning a lot more about it just by participating. And I'm never the type of person I am. I'm not afraid to introduce myself to anybody and get into conversations with people. So I'm learning a lot and meeting a lot of the movers and shakers. Are you eating grass? She's under the bench eating grass. Just have a seat, bud. Just sit down. You're the reason we stopped. You were getting really slowed down, bud. Anyway, and my hope, and I've wanted to live in this town for a while, and I like being involved in this city particularly. It's got a good vibe here. But thank you, buddy. He finally sat down. Take a breather. That's why we stopped. Because we walked really far today. Anyway, and it all goes with this concept hashtag village economics that I keep sharing about on Facebook, and that I need you to know, these pep walk talks, the conversational philosophies, these are just a portion of what I intend to put on this channel. I just have to get my life together. If you've watched these videos, you've seen how shitty my house is right now. And until I get that sorted out, I don't have the space in my head and literally in my house to work and do things that take creative thought and organization. But I intend to, I've made a bunch of hashtags, because hashtags are hyperlinks, and the hyperlinks will bring me back all of this, over a year and a half of content that I've been cultivating. And so my intention is to take those and make full lessons and things about it. There's a whole lot I intend to do that I've only just gotten started. And this is just me getting started, But one of those concepts is, hold on, Athena. She's wrapping around the bench now. Stop. Stop, don't eat that. Hold on. She couldn't help herself, so we're walking the garden path. Anyway. So, this is a piece of that. Village economics is a theory that I have, that other people have. I'm just coming up with my own name for it because I don't know if anybody else has named it something else. But what we used to do as a species, how we used to engage with each other, that long before we ever had money. Money, look it up. Money is not old as far as the human timeline goes. Money is new. And I know that 5,000 years ago doesn't seem new, but when your species is 300,000 years old, money is fucking new. And we functioned And we're doing, I mean, we have all the resources and empire building and industrialization and colonization, all of that awful, hideous, heinous stuff for the species has also been a part of developing these processes to function on a grander scale, to be able to provide food for literally billions of people, which we went from like 2 billion to 8 billion in 100 years. Do you understand how fucking psycho that is? Anyway, we're far less controllable now, which is nice. But anyway, can we sit down? There's a cute little, this place is, like, look at this. It's so adorable. I really like this spot. We've been here once before when there was artists everywhere, but now it's just open. And it's really beautiful. It's a nice place to walk. And there's like a little space over there, right there, for like performances and things, presentations and performances. I love how many old trees there are in this town. Anyway, I'm gonna sit down at this cute little table. And we've done it. Why aren't we doing it now? What have we lost and why have we lost it? And we're regaining things because one thing that internet and having this like super rapid communication that connects us to every fucking part of the globe where there are people, and even where there's not, because you've got like satellites and imaging and stuff that can take you virtually to anywhere, and you can see the world, and your world has gotten so much bigger, and your ability to understand other humans has gotten so much greater. And we're seeing, in my opinion, and I'm basing this on a pattern of history that I have studied for a very long time, and human behavior, which I have studied for a very long time. I want to say it's the last gasp of the old way, and the old way is violence. Being violent and violence and harm are not the same as like crime. So I've been listening to How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi. And I hope I pronounced that right. It's and I say listening because it's an audiobook, and it is fantastic. The work, the scholarship around it, and the writing style, and the way that it's accessible language, like anybody who has any foundational knowledge in racism can grasp these concepts and participate in the conversation. So please, if you've read it, I would love to do not. It says no public picking, Chester. Do not take food out of the planter, even though I think those are just weeds. That's it. That's as far as you go. Because you guys are fully separated right now. Okay, fine. I don't mind walking around. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying about the book. It came up because I was talking about community supports, and I forgot. Anyway, if you've read it or want to start reading it, let's book club about it. Let's talk about it. I have already gained so much understanding, more understanding. It's like I have a good intellectual foundation for the historical and cultural concepts he's talking about, like intellectually speaking, but the human understanding, the empathy, I can only really sympathize, not empathize. Don't go in the garden plots, babies. We gotta walk or they're gonna get into stuff. And so having the human experience explained by someone who's not very much older than me, who has lived and experienced this same generation that I've experienced is really eye-opening. So please do engage with, that's where I was going, because it's impossible for me a white Western United States American, to understand the lived experience of a black Eastern United States American, who, even though we came up around the same decades, and could have experienced the same cultural moments, but significantly different. Anyway, and that's the beauty of the internet. That's the beauty of this communication. Oh, hi, kitty. Chester found a kitty. He loves kitties. Hi, baby cat. Oh, you're so tiny. Look how cute. Little Siamese baby. Leave the kitty alone, honey. You can't get there anyway. There's this whole entire fence in the way. Kitty doesn't want to play with you. Chester loves kitties. Bye, baby cat. Oh, you are so tiny. You are just the scrawniest little baby. You're so pretty. Calm down. Leave him alone. They were here last time we were here too. This must be their house. Anyway, this little cow hasn't noticed. If she did, she'd be yelling at that cat. They love cats. We have a cat at home. Anyway, cats don't love them. Anyway, but could you imagine what would happen if cats and dogs had like Facebook and could communicate with each other? How much cooler it would be, because we know that cats and dogs can get along. We've seen it done. They just have to be introduced to each other, carefully. And my cat loves my dogs and vice versa. They're family, And what I think is happening with the species, back to violence and harm, is that as we are learning each other better, as we are getting to know each other better as a species, global species, we are learning how, although there are differences, like cultural differences and things like that, we are still one species, and there's actually very little that divides us. And what that means is that the divisions that we have been taught have been fictionalized in order to what? Say it with me, class. No, you can't say it with me. I don't make people predict what I'm going to say. Not in real life. I say bizarre things, but in order to control us, in order to make us more controllable, more brainwashable, it's propaganda. That's the whole point of it, right? Is to make us malleable to the forces that control. I like to call them resource hoarders, because that's what they are. They hoard. This is the history of humanity, as Marx said, or Engels, whichever. I mean, they wrote the manifesto together, right? In the Communist Manifesto, it's said that all history is class warfare. Where are we going? Taking me on a fucking hike. Okay, thank you. All of history is class warfare, and it's true. And I say history because I'm not including prehistory, because before we had money, before we had, what am I saying? Agriculture and resources that could be stockpiled versus resources that had to be, gathered and hunted on the regular for survival. Once we could stockpile things, there were people who took advantage of the stockpiling, because if they could create scarcity, if they could create what I like to call, and I'm not the only one, I didn't call it this, false scarcity, they can control the population that depends on them for food. What are our literal needs as a species? We need food. We need, hold on. You're all wrapped. 1 second. Stop. It's okay, guys. That's why I came back here. So I don't like walking with one hand. It's hard to untwist them. Hey, let's not go that far. As they control the food, the water, the shelter, the sex, the things that humans biologically just need. Not that you need sex, but it's just like a biological drive that most people have. That they control that in order to control the people. That's why religions so many religions have purity culture stuff, because if they control who you can have sex with, they can control who gets made, who gets born, and how they're born. And the drive for sex is a really powerful one. The drive for food is a powerful one. All of these things are powerful controlling factors, and breaking that down by making community spaces where people can grow their own food and don't have to rely on the grocery stores and corporations, and having community supports like this really upends the resource hoarding standard. And that's what we're seeing, and that's the type of propaganda we're seeing, and that's the type of change we're seeing in the world today. So hope that gives you a little hope. Gotta go. See you later.